You know, there's a lot of great work being done around the world when it comes to contact centers, when it comes to broader based BPO. But every country has its niche. Every country has its specialty. And when somebody asks me where South Africa fits, there's no question in my mind that South Africa really, I believe, has a corner on the market when it comes to higher value services, when it comes to front office BPO. Now that might mean accentuated levels of customer care. That might mean warm calling in terms of a marketing and sales context. It might mean higher levels of technical support like what we see happening with Amazon based in Cape Town. But the bottom line is that South Africa has a tremendous legacy as an English-speaking country in terms of education and in terms of being able to mold educated, bright, and hungry young agents that are willing to try and service end users and consumers in the United Kingdom, in Australia, and New Zealand with whichever element that they need help around and why they're contacting a particular enterprise. And there's another element to this too. Something that I think is really important from the context of South Africa and that I've witnessed on my many trips into the country is the extent to which that the culture overlaps in South Africa with the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. And a couple of examples I think are worth noticing. If you take a look at, say, financial services, the exact same terminology related to credit cards, bank accounts, and insurance are used in South Africa as you would find in the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. Now that means a significantly greater level of empathy with a South African agent that's dealing with a consumer in any offshore or nearshore country amongst those three countries I've just mentioned when they're helping to handle a call. Why? Because the agent's using the exact same terminology for their own financial services products on a daily basis. And I think you can underscore the extent to which, when you're talking in the context of higher value services that the South African agent is able to deliver, you take a look at the extent to which the cultural overlap is a very real thing. Coming to London like I am right now, it's amazing to see the number of South Africans that are living and working in the UK. From the standpoint of Australia, I remember recently being in South Africa and having the chance to watch a Springboks versus Wallabies game. It was a rugby match, and I thought to myself, well, it's a shame I didn't get tickets because it looks like a lot of fun. Now, the reason I thought that it was in South Africa was because of the number of South African jerseys and flags in the audience. The game was actually being played in Brisbane, but when you look at the number of South Africans that travel to Australia, the number of South Africans that have decided to reside in Australia and New Zealand, or even spend a little time on vacation there, you can see that there's a tremendous cultural fit between South Africa and its cousins in the Australian, New Zealand, and the UK Anglosphere.